The acting national chairman of People's Democratic Party, PDP, Umar Damagum, has stated that the Edo governorship election holding on September 21st will be a test for the nation's democracy. This is as Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has declared the governorship election a do-or-die affair, warning that the poll must not be rigged.
Now, as the gubernatorial election draws near, both the PDP and the All Progressive Congress, APC, have been accusing each other of inciting violence and engaging in vote buying. According to a recent survey conducted by the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID, 17.2% of Nigerians doubt the fairness of the upcoming governorship elections in Edo State. Now, joining us is a member of the People's Democratic Party, Joyce Daniels, and also joining us is the former Commissioner of Communication and Orientation in Edo State, Andrew Emwanta. Good morning, both of you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'll start with you, Joyce Daniels. You are a member of the ASWE's strategy and campaign team. Can you maybe share with us updates regarding the peace accord and the allegations of arrest of PDP members? You know, your thoughts on that.
Well, nothing has changed since the last time you heard about the arrest of people. They've been whisked away to unknown locations, no clear. As a party and as the team ASWE, we are ready for the elections. We have put ourselves together. The peace accord was not signed because we do not believe we should sign a peace accord when peace has not been extended to us. That would be almost hypocritical, and we will not do that. That does not mean we do not stand for peace. We're peace-loving people. We want what's right for Edo people, and we'll stand by it through and through.
All right. Yeah, but just to ask, on that same point you just made, what do you mean by peace has not been accorded to you if members of your, if members of your party, are being investigated for one reason or the other and arrested by the police? How is that, being interpreted as a peace not being, offered to you?
The law says that if someone is arrested, they should be prosecuted in the area which the alleged crime is committed. They are not in Edo State. If a crime was committed in Edo State, shouldn't they be in Edo State? Shouldn't it be clearly stated what exactly they have been arrested for? Shouldn't they be granted bail? None of these have been done. So that's not the removal of disturbance, which peace means. That's exactly what I mean by peace has not been accorded to us.
All right. On Friday, we had Honorable Andrew Emwanta join us and share his thoughts regarding what exactly is going on with the PDP. And he made a number of strong statements, which I'm going to give him the opportunity to make so that you can maybe give us some clarity regarding that. He had accused Governor Godwin Obaseki of being complicit, of housing people who are to be investigated, people who have, in some measure, flouted certain peace conversations. And I'm going to give him the floor. Mr. Honorable Emwanta, talk to us again and reiterate what you had highlighted in our last conversation with you. The allegations you had made against the governor and the party, and why you think that the party is being investigated.
Yeah, thank you. I will start by first correcting a very wrong and erroneous impression of the law my sister over there, Joyce Daniels, said. She's saying that once somebody is arrested, that it is the place where the offense was committed that the person must be tried. I mean, nothing can be further from the truth. Section 35 of our Constitution, the 1999 Constitution as amended, is very clear that when you detain somebody suspected to have committed a criminal offense, you must bring him before a court within a particular mile radius from where he was detained, not where the offense was committed. So I won't blame her because she's a layperson. She may not know what the law says. These persons were detained in Abuja because it was the IGP that petition was written to. And in compliance with the law, they were arraigned before a magistrate court within the Kubwa magisterial district. And the magistrate gave a remand order because the offense committed, some of them are being arraigned for murder, others attempted murder. So the problem we have is that the governor keeps shielding some of these persons. And as I earlier said on this station, this TV station precisely, Obaseki is housing some of these persons in government house. And I mentioned one of their names. Ondionlaye is one of the suspects. The killing that took place at the airport is one of the criminal suspects that the present governor, Godwin Obaseki, is housing in government house. This man moves with him to campaign ground, and after the campaigns goes back. Whenever the governor is around, that's when this man's turn up. So why have they, in all honesty, refused to subject themselves to the criminal investigation for crimes against the people? Because when you commit the crime of murder, it's an offense against the state. And besides, remember that just over the weekend when they had their campaign, the governor said this election is do or die. Why would a person that occupies that high office of governor make such a very careless and reckless statement? This was the same person that said Nigeria will burn if these criminal suspects are arrested. So I think the Nigerian state must call Obaseki to order. He's not a candidate in this election. He wants a third term, and Edo people are saying no. If you trace our history from 1999, Edo people, we are peace-loving. It's just that we don't have a governor that is peace-loving. We have a governor that believes that everybody around him must die because of the election. And that is why they didn't sign that peace accord. It's very clear.
Okay. All right. Ms. Daniels, can you I think you have the right of response, so quickly go ahead. You know, there are strong allegations against your principal and, of course, against your party.
My principal remains Aswe Godalo, the person who is running for the election, the one who is on the ballot. Governor Godwin Obaseki has a right to his comments. It's free speech. And I will not make a comment on that. Aswe Godalo is the person on the ballot who has a credible, very credible track record. He has a manifesto for the people of Edo State. He's the only one who has come out to speak to his people with very clear terms on how we're going to take Edo State from where we are now to the next level of leadership. He has a track record of development and governance. He understands the economy and what Edo State needs to take us to the very next level. That's our focus. And we will not be distracted by the shenanigans of the people who have no evidence to support some of the things that they say. Look, it is people who don't have a very good product to sell that look for smoke all around. And that's my stand. I'm standing for Aswe Godalo. I am talking to the people we're canvassing every day about what will happen when we go to the next level with Aswe Godalo. That is the focus of the Team Aswe campaign organization, and that's where we are facing.
Does it not worry you that the current governor has stood firmly, I beg your pardon, behind Aswe Godalo? Does it not worry you that as he has stood behind the governor or the aspirant for the governorship position, that all these allegations, these strong statements, might in a way impact the outcome of the elections, maybe not in the favor of Aswe Godalo?
What concerns me is the safety of the people on election day. The people are concerned. And all I would say is come out. Edo people were not afraid. Typically, we are known as stubborn people. We go mounts. We are coming out to vote. That is my concern. The concern of the people is when we come out on election day, would there be safety? Would we be allowed to vote? Will our votes count and be uploaded immediately right before us? That's the concern. And that's where we are focusing on. And we're saying to the people, come out. Come out. In 2020, in 2016, we were able to succeed. We will succeed again. Edo people, last year we came out, it was free, fair, we got the results. We will come out again and there will be safety. That is the message to Edo people. Let's focus on 5 days from now to vote for our next governor.
All right, we probably will come back to the conversation on violence because I think it's very, very important. If we're hearing statements of do or die election, and then the other side is saying, oh, bring whatever it is we are waiting. There's just so much talk of violence that I don't think should be welcome in any election, regardless of what sides we support. I want to, also, ask something else. We might come back to this. The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, I'm hearing, organize a debate, that your candidate and also the APC's candidate didn't show up at. So let's start with Mr. Emwanta. Was your candidate also very busy yesterday that, they couldn't show up at the debate?
I didn't get that question.
The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria organized a debate for the Edo State aspirants. From what I've seen, it is just Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party that showed up at the debate. The PDP and the APC candidates didn't show up. So is there any reason why the debate was shunned?
I think that debate you're referring to, I want to confirm, is it the one organized by the Edo State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists? Because that was the one somebody brought to my attention. And you had just three of the aspirants there, three of the candidates there out of 17. Is that the one you are referring to?
I mean, I'm referring to the one organized by the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON. I'm not sure if there was a different one, but did your candidate attend the one that you speak of?
The one I know of is the one organized by the Edo State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. And about that time, my candidate was at a campaign event. I know they organize debates weeks before election. You don't put a debate on the week of election. I mean, no serious organization will do that. And obviously, the PDP and the APC candidates were not there. And just to quickly correct an impression, I'm sorry to say that my sister over there, whenever you ask her questions, she jumps the ship by saying that's why Godwin is the one she's speaking for, trying to dissociate themselves from Obaseki. Obaseki was on the campaign ground when he made those statements. And besides, Aswa Godwin was one of those that walked out on the National Peace Committee, not Godwin Obaseki. His godfather had said a day before, on the eve of that debate, that they were not going to sign. And Aswa Godwin complied. Is Aswa Godwin not part of Obaseki's government? He's the chairman of Olagundaru. This man has been in government for the past 7.5 years. So there's nothing you can do to separate the two of them. They are two sides of a coin. His running mate, Osadojonge, has been part of Obaseki's government in the last 7 and how many months. So you discover that these people are part and parcel of Obaseki's government. Aswa was not just chairman of Olagundaru, he was also a consultant. He comes from a senatorial district. What development did he bring there? But when you compare that with our candidates, as senator, he has brought real development to his people in the last 1 year. And even before that time, as a private citizen, he supported the security network at Alakpa with vehicles, over 10 vehicles and cars and all kinds of, monetary and other support. He gave them logistical support. And that's why the problem of kidnapping has reduced in Edo Central. This is a man that has sunk boreholes across communities. He has built schools that the Edo State government has refused to build. You discover that we have an educational system that is almost crumbling. And that's why we have a 5-point agenda. First on it is security. The problem we have in Edo State today is insecurity. That was why the IG had to ban Obaseki's police, which Aswa was benefiting from because that was the platform they wanted to use to win the election. Then second on it is road construction, massive road construction. Then also we talk of affordable healthcare, affordable and quality healthcare. The only standing health facility of international standard was built at Oshomalova 8 years ago. The governor has not been able to renovate the hospital he started. He destroyed, completely demolished the only central hospital we have in Benin to put a museum, and that museum is an abandoned project. Then third on fourth on our list is food security. You find a governor who brings in his friends, they take over lands, they establish palm plantations, which of course has taken away those communities from their usual style of subsistence farming, taking away people's land, bringing your friends from Lagos. That is not agriculture. So we are going to be having real food security in Edo State once our candidate made this governor of Edo State. And last on the list is value-driven education. As we speak, we have situation in Benin where when you go to most of the schools, you either have 3 teachers or 2.5 teachers. So our candidate has assured Edo people that once he comes into office, within the first 100 days, he's going to employ 5,000 teachers. The governor claims he has employed teachers. Those teachers are paid just 40,000. He claims that he has a minimum wage of 70,000, but ask most of the teachers in his Edo Star program, they receive just 40,000. And at times they don't receive his salary the way others receive it. So we have a 5-point agenda to rescue Edo State. It is because of the failure of Obaseki. It is that development gap that these 5 points are just listed will fill. And we have a senator who has a track record of winning elections. Remember that between 1999 and last year, a period of 25 years, PDP has been in the Senate. It was my candidate that removed the sitting senator there in last year's election. He won across the 5 local governments in Edo Central. Aswa Godwin, apart from doing consultancy in Obaseki's government, has he ever played politics? It was just recently he got his voter's card. So we are talking of real politics of development.
Yeah, we're hoping that we can focus on governance, this time, not politics. Yeah, I think politics has really been... No,
because it's politics that gives room for good governance now, because you must win elections to become governor of a state.
My point is, if we have too much focus on who can play the most politics, Edo State will not go anywhere. Olive?
Yeah, I was going to switch the conversation to Monday Okwebolo, but I'd like Joyce Daniels to have her response, her right of response to you before we go ahead.
The issues about what has been done in Edo State or not, the truth is News Central, you can send in your own investigators, your journalists to come in and see for yourselves. It's not hidden. It's not a city that is hidden under a bushel. Come to the schools, and see what's going on. Come and see what's happening in the primary health care centers. This is a challenge to you right now to come here and see for yourselves. Don't just listen to what we say here. Come and see what's happening in the health sector already in Edo State. Teachers have been trained for the first time in decades. We've interviewed so many, they're on the streets. We have parents who are saying now that their children in public primary schools are doing much better than where they were before. We have the remuneration of teachers that is the best in Nigeria right now. We were number 28 in primary education before. Now we're, I think, number 2 in Nigeria. Please come and verify for yourselves. What Edo people want is continuity, the person who will be able to take us to the next level. Recently, on a show that was held online, the gentleman who is the APC candidate showed up and he couldn't put on his video, and he said it's because they are still trying to install Facebook on his phone. In 2024, every phone comes with Facebook. So this is not somebody who has the capacity to take us to the next level in terms of IT development, where Edo State is already. We're paperless government as is today. Everything is done digitally. We are not going to go back. Aswe Godalo has shown in governance when he served in an NSIA board. Funds were very well deployed for the development of the cancer center, the completion of the Lagos-Ibadan highway, where we will go through to do business if you're coming through in and out of Edo State, the Lagos-Ibadan highway, and the second Niger bridge. This is a man who understands finding creative funding to take us to the next level. He understands how to gain the trust of investors so that we can establish businesses that will employ people and retain the brain power that we have. This is what Edo people want, to go to the next level of prosperity for all. Governance should be a continuum of people who understand governance and are willing to commit to it in its entirety.
All right. Honorable Emwanta, let's talk about your candidate, Monday Okwebolo. There have been a number of criticism leveled against him. There's been conversations about him not taking the people of Edo State seriously enough to show up for interviews, and you basically, share what his plans for Edo are in these interviews. There's also, we just talked about the presidential debate, but I think the most recent I'm seeing here is there's one about the falsification of age claims that have been leveled against him. We're hoping that you can give us clarity on that. The suit was filed on the 12th of September. Alleged discrepancies in his birth dates provided in the nomination forms that he submitted to INEC. They're saying here that he was alleged that the 2023 Senate nomination form listed his birthday as March 29, 1970, and then there's another one that has August 29, 1972 on his WAEC certificate. There's also August 1st, 1977 as his date of birth on his INEC voter card. And part of the criticism leveled against this is Section 182, subsection 1D of the Constitution that talks about conviction for offenses involving dishonesty or fraud. Can you maybe speak to this, please?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a phantom from the PDP end, and I'll just answer it in one first swoop. When our candidate submitted his forms, he attached an affidavit he swore to in 2022. There's nobody in this world that have never made maybe a typographical error, because there are two documents we are looking at here. First is his PVC. He has a PVC that establishes that fact, which Answer does not have. It was recently the rec gave him. Then second is his WAS certificate of 2008. And the law requires you to do what we call a deed poll. We members of his legal team, we sat back and asked ourselves that simple question because we saw this phantom coming. And I can assure you that on the 26th of July this year, we went to the Supreme Court, we did an affidavit, which he swore to. And as the law requires, because that's what the Supreme Court said in Jury's case, that you don't just do an affidavit, you must do a deed poll. I was a witness to that deed poll at the Supreme Court. We filed it before the Commissioner of Vote at the Supreme Court on the 26th. After that time, we went to pay the stamp duty because it's a deed. And after we did that deed, we applied, because it's my law firm that organized that for me, where is the lawyers. We applied to the federal government, as the federal printer, to ensure that this deed poll is gazetted as required by the provisions of the law and the Supreme Court decision in the risk case. Because in that Bayelsa situation, we had a similar scenario. So having done that, on the 1st of August, the regularization of personal particulars of Senator Umar Damagum was gazetted. And we are waiting to see that when individuals like this who are chasing shadows, they go to a magistrate court, these issues have been resolved. When you have an official gazette, it settles the field. It covers the field. They met a magistrate and gave the magistrate some compensation to do a very frivolous criminal summons. Frivolous. Because these issues were resolved on the 1st of August when that deed was gazetted by the federal government printer. And at the appropriate time, we will respond. It's not until we will respond to that. But can they please tell us why Aswa Ighodalo has not resigned as chairman of Olagudalo? Because as we speak, there's a petition before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. First, he appointed his private law firm, Godwin Ighodalo, as secretary of Olagudalo. Second, he refused to do his asset declaration. And third, 30 days to the election, that same section 182 they are referring to makes it mandatory. While section 182 of the 1999 Constitution, sub 1 paragraph G makes it mandatory for him to have resigned 30 days before the election. Can you please ask my sister Joyce Daniels if Aswa has resigned from Olagudalo as the chairman?
All right.
Because when you look at the CAC forms, he's still an active director. As chairman of Olagudalo, he was supposed to resign. Because that has become the SPV, the special purpose vehicle they use in swindling Edo State governments. The hotels that they are building, Aswa Ighodalo is a consultant. Allegations have been made that he has received over 1 billion naira. He's yet to respond to these allegations. So the only question I want my sister to answer is, why has Aswa refused to resign as chairman of Olagudalo?
She will resign, but I do have a follow-up question regarding... Sorry, I beg your pardon, she'll respond. But I do have a follow-up question regarding your candidate. There have been criticism leveled against the presidency. I mean, I'm sure you must have seen the Nigerian president official handle with about 2.6 million followers putting out a tweet saying, vote Okpebholo to birth in functional state. Vice President Kashim Shettima urges Edo citizens, says state will benefit from positive change with increased federal allocation. And this has been largely criticized, stating that we're using the president's official handle, the official handle of the presidency, for partisan politics. The APC government has been accused of state capture. Do you approve of this tweet in the first place? And what's your response to those who say that this is indeed state capture?
No, for me, there's nothing untoward or wrong in the federal government saying that if we support a member of their party and he becomes governor, they will give us all the support. The truth is, Obaseki has placed Edo State in a very high debt profile of over $500 billion, right? And as such, the government or the federal will support us to reduce that debt profile. There's no way we can, because it's just like that Paris Club debt buyback Obaseki did. So I think that is from that angle one will view it, because with the high debt profile, both Aswa Ighodalo and Obaseki has created for the state, it can only take the intervention of the federal government. And I can tell you this for free, our candidate has approached the federal government that part of the arrangement for them to support him is that they will help deal with the very high debt profile of Edo State. Aswa was collecting 10% or a certain percentage as a consultant for all these loans Obaseki collected. And we want that government to continue. People are saying no.
So you don't mind
the government to continue.
Yeah, because we probably need to give Joyce Daniels, a chance to also respond. So you have any issues with the presidency using its official handle that should be meant for governance? You don't have any issues with the presidency using that to campaign and play politics?
I just told you there's nothing wrong with it. Did I tell you that there's something wrong with it?
All right.
Is Donald Trump not supporting members of his party? There was a time when we had a U.S. president.
Do you think that
who was president and his brother was governor of Florida, Jeb Bush? So please, The president has the right to use any handle to support a candidate of his party. The vice president did not come from our rally. He was there yesterday. So there's no point hiding. He's a candidate of the APC, and the federal government, which is an APC-controlled federal government, will support him just the same way Obaseki is supporting his business partner, Aswe Godwin.
All right.
Is Obaseki not using the social
Mr.
media to support him?
We can hold on, please. Joyce Daniels, please go ahead. You can quickly also chip in before we wrap up.
Edo people are watching. Edo people are concerned about 5 days from now. One party has taken our rice from 7,500 to 100,000 naira. One party is responsible for the price of petrol today, which many people are struggling with. There are people in my community today who are eating 2 to 3 times a week because of the rising cost of living. They want a credible candidate who is fair, who understands justice, who understands government, and will create a buffer. Regardless of what is happening in the sovereign, we want Edo State as a sub-sovereign to be able to take care of its issues and create prosperity for its people to live above poverty and in prosperity. The people of Edo State want a person that will take us to that level, and that person is Aswe Godalo. They are watching right now, and I will remind Edo people, this is the finger we're going to use on Saturday to vote for the umbrella for us to prosper together. There are allegations and counter allegations and more allegations. What is important to the people of Edo State is who will improve quality of living and life for them. And that is Aswe Godalo on the platform of the People's Democratic Party.
Okay, well, Mr. Emwanta, that's also a thing that has been hanging. There's a big elephant in the room, which is why do you believe anybody in Edo State, would still give their votes to the APC, seeing how Nigeria currently, is the economic realities of the average Nigerian, which of course, has been mostly caused by the APC-led government since 2015.
You said since 2015, what was the state of our economy in 2015? PDP ran this country down. Are you saying that you are not aware that...
I wouldn't necessarily say that is true. In 2015, hold on.
I'm coming. Why not allow me to ask your question? Allow me to, so that you don't cut me at the end of the day. Just allow me to answer that question. I understand your question loud and clear.
All right.
You don't say you have a federal government and ignore the fact that the election is taking place in Edo State where we have a state governor. The man was given a mandate since 2020. What has he done? When subsidy was removed last year, did they not increase allocation? Edo State gets times 2 of the allocation. What do we get from the governor? There will be palliatives from federal government. The governor will keep these palliatives and share amongst his party members. They will rebag and resell. Did we not have that video that went viral? We have a governor that has refused to develop our state. Look at the state of roads. Flooding has become a recurring decimal in our state. We have a governor that has no idea of governance. We have a governor that uses his mouth to cause insecurity.
But that's not the question. What you're responding to now. Hold on, Mr. Emwanta. What you're responding to now is once again your criticism of Governor Godwin Obaseki, which you have a right to. What I'm asking is about the APC as a party. Why do you feel like Nigerians would still come out in mass to vote for anything that the APC has its name on, seeing the way that Nigeria has been run in the last 9 years? And by the way, the excuse of 16 years of PDP died in 2015, 2016 max. That's when it died. Nobody still talks about blaming the PDP in 2024. So again, why do you think anybody would want to vote Monday Okpebolo or anything that the APC touches in 2024 in Edo State?
The thing is, you ask yourself, Tinubu as a person was given a mandate last year, right? So we are going to be assessing our performance from this angle because Obaseki was part of APC government. Was he not an APC governor for 4 years? He was an APC governor for 4 years. So if you are using that same logic, it therefore means that that's why Godalo was part of that APC government should not be voted for. But what we are saying is that we now have a tabula rasa. And that tabula rasa begins from last year. Tinubu is trying to fix this problem created by both APC government of Buhari and the 16 years of PDP governance in Nigeria. And he must be given the opportunity to fix our country. You don't use a 1 year cycle to assess the government. And Bodo Okpebolo as a senator has performed. Our people are not interested in the individual coming in as governor. This is a man that has a track record. We will not use the things that Buhari did in assessing him, and even using the Tinubu government who is trying to fix the economy. You find that Tinubu has been in China. He has had deals with the Chinese government. He has been able to meet the King of England, and he's even on his way to America. So this man must be given the opportunity to fix our country.
When you say that we can't use, when you say
that's
that,
why Edo people must vote for Monday Okpebholo.
when you say that we can't use the Buhari government to access him, are you talking about Monday Okpebholo here, or are you talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
No, for me, if we are going to assess the person whose mandate or who is asking for the mandates of the people.
All right, seeing as we're speaking about the president whose mandate.
Ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Has APC not been able to deal with the problem of Boko Haram, the issue of security? Have they not dealt with it? They've dealt with the issue of insecurity. The issue of transportation. Can you just allow me answer?
No, because we're running out of time. We have a few minutes, and I want to make sure that your answer covers all of the, the angles that I would like for you to.
And you are taking my time. Just allow me.
We have 2 minutes, Mr. Emwanta, please. I just need to ask you this.
I can do that in 2 minutes.
And the question is, would you say that based off the track record of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that Edo State citizens will be confident to vote the person he endorses, in this case, Monday Okpebholo?
Absolutely. Because within a 1-year period, he has been able to fix many things. We never had student loans in Nigeria. He has introduced student loan. Dangote Refinery has been there. It was under his administration that we have the first indigenous person that has been given the opportunity of supplying fuel. And we know that the prices of petrol products will reduce because already the products are coming back. Because remember that these subsidy teams, majority of them are, PDP people. You remember when we had Desani as minister, was Desani an APC member? You know the billions that went.
Yeah, but that is still going back to 16 years PDP, Mr. Emwanta. Again,
and then people were left him as their governor.
All right, again, we are still going back to the 16 years of PDP. Joyce Daniels, 30 seconds, please, quickly.
Edo people want continuity. Many women are now having babies at primary healthcare centers and hospitals because of the Edo Health Insurance Scheme. We have our teachers who are being trained, who are being taught. We have more roads that have been tarred and reconstructed than in any previous government. Edo people want continuity. They do not want anybody who would take businesses that are thriving and put them to the ground because of lack of understanding or political conflicts. They want Aswe Godalo, they want Osarodion Oge, and we're voting PDP on Saturday, the 21st of September. By the grace of God, we'll come back here to celebrate victory.
I know we had said that this is the last question, but I promise you this is the official last question for the both of you, and if you can answer in 30 seconds, please answer. Olumide Akpata, the strength of Olumide Akpata's influence in Edo State, don't you think that he'll be a much better option over your individual party presidential aspirants? And I'll have you answer, Honorable Emwanta and Joyce, in 30 seconds each, please.
Yeah, thank you. As a last statement, I want Edo people to know that we have a man that was elected as a senator last year. There was this problem of PDP retaining power for 25 years. He broke that jinx. His running mate has been in the House of Reps for 2 terms. He has won election. These are people who are tested and tried. And once Edo people gives them their mandate, unlike the Labour Party candidate you referred to, he has never won any election apart from the MBA election. You don't compare association politics with real politics. Then also Godalo has been in the government of Obaseki for the past 7 years and some months running.
All right.
He was in the Shomaless government previously, and he has nothing to show for it. He comes from the neutral district, no development. And
we have to go now.
Cannot afford to put a rookie like that has not.
All right,
we have to go now.
Mr. Emwanta, thank you very much.
Time's up. Thank you. Joyce Daniels, Olu Akpata as governorship candidate over your party.
In governance and business, Olumide looks up to Aswe Godalo, and his time will come. Right now, Aswe Godalo is the next governor, who Edo people will vote for by show of preference already. Thank you.
All right, we count down to the governorship elections on the 21st of September. We'll keep having these conversations. Thank you so much for joining us, Joyce Daniels and Honorable Andrew Emwanta.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your time. We'll still keep up the conversations. Let's share with you a recap of the conversations we've had this morning, and then we'll let you know what's coming up next on Breakfast Central.